can you make sure that I pronounce your name, Abiati, the correct way?
Yes, you just did. It's Abiade. You got it right.
Oh, thank you very, very much. I wanted you to come on because I saw you on TikTok, and I saw how you was breaking down some stuff when it comes to our history. And I say, oh my God, I got to get her on this show. So if you
Thank
want to go ahead
you.
and introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Lady D. It's a pleasure to be on your show, Real Talk,
Thank
and
you.
to speak with your subscribers, your followers. My name is Abiade Ayaba Olodomiri Tomi, rooted in the Yoruba language.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's where the name is coming from, but it's basically my English name translated into our African language, what we call African, but really the name is Alkibulan.
Okay.
So yeah. So thank you again for having me. So I
It's
guess
my
I'll start.
pleasure.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna start with a little background of where I'm coming from. I was born and raised in Jamaica. Yeah.
Okay.
Now living in the United States, in Texas. Um, I grew up as a Rastafarian in
Okay.
Jamaica. Yeah. My maternal family are Christians, deep rooted Christians, have their own churches and all of that. My paternal side of the family grew up Rastafarian, and that's how me and my siblings were raised. Had a calling. I became a Christian for about a year, for a good
Hmm.
year. And this was right before COVID hit.
Okay.
1 year, right? And then I migrated to the United States the summer after COVID hit. So, and then I started, because I became a Christian, I started reading the Bible in its entirety.
Hmm.
And it raised a lot of questions for me, a lot of gaps, a lot of shortcomings, everything. Because of my upbringing as a Rastafarian and atheist, I was I was raised to question things, to be a skeptic, right? To make
Yes.
sure that everything needs to add up and make sense, not to just be the follower, but to get to the root of everything. So that aided me, and I realize now that everything was a part of the journey to get to where I am today. So when I read the Bible in its entirety for the first time, that first year of being a Christian, all the questions and all the concerns jump out at me. So I started researching. And I researched and I researched and I researched and I researched. And that's what led me to here. Um, so now I'm at a place where I have confidence in the knowledge that I have acquired on who I am, who we are as a community, where we're actually coming from, where we should be heading, and where we will be.
Okay, but that's has nothing to do with Christianity, right? So it's not really
No, it has something to do with the Bible, but not Christianity.
okay. So how would you consider yourself? You wouldn't consider yourself a part of any religion, right?
No, religion is all, regardless of what religion it is, it's all
I look
right.
at it as
It's
man-made.
man-made, and it's a construct by man taken from something that we used to practice as a part of our culture, as our connection to the universe at large prior to the existence of any of these beings. So
Mhm.
yes, what I am is like saying that I am black.
Just say you just black, right?
Right. Black is
Okay.
not something that I do or something that I become. It is just what I am.
Okay. So black, some people may, interpret black just a color.
Brace yourself for this one. Where is the continent called Black? Are you black, Negro, colored, Jamaican, African, African American, Indian, Native American, etc.? Which one are you today? Who are you? Is black a nationality? No.
And I'm just using that word because it's easy for everyone to get.
Okay.
It's we are 9 ether beings, which we have 9 strands of DNA, while every other race will have 6, which is one more than the 5 strand animals. Like I think you have like your apes and all of that. So we are a higher thinking frequency being. We are the creator manifested physically, right? Which is why we connect with the sun, we connect with the moon, we connect with the earth, we connect with the trees, the everything. We are interconnected in the very fabric of the universe.
Okay. And I,
And
I heard where you said, not to cut you off, but I heard
yes,
where you had said that you had mentioned like apes because people are trying to tie us, especially when they want to be racist to chimpanzees, which that's like turning 2 different corners when we have different DNA. No way in the world that you ever heard, of a human being mating with a chimpanzee. What you think about that?
that's correct. You'll never you that's not us. We did not evolve from these apes or chimpanzee or whatever species of monkey that you want to call it. We do not evolve from them, but not us.
Oh,
we
yeah.
are we are forever. We've always been here. There's no beginning of time or ending of time with us. We always exist. The universe always exists. It did not come from this big bang theory that they speak of. That's not us. That's their coming into existence, not ours.
Wow. Do you believe that's where everything started? I'm still studying about the Pangea. So it was like we was one big supercontinent.
Yes, so yeah, it was one big supercontinent and we were throughout it all. But the center of it would be Africa, and that is where we would have that would be like the main house, our home, the primary
Mhm.
home, the origin. And as you grow as a spiritual being and expand, of course you're going to expand to other parts of the land, because the entire thing is land. Even under the water there's land. So the visible land we would expand. So it's the same family, the same species that we are, that expanded at the 4 corners of the earth, what we call the 4 corners of the earth. But yes, we would have origin from in the midst of it, which would have been where Africa is.
Yes. And it says that it started, with the Homo sapiens. Could you talk about a little bit about that as well?
Okay, so they say we are the Homo sapiens right now, and before them were the Homo sapiens that we derive from. We did not like evolve from a different species or a different state. If anything, we as Black people have devolved, not evolved. The other races have evolved from their animalistic states, their Neanderthal states, into what they call today as mankind, right? So they're like a kind of man. So they're kind of like us, but they're not us. We
Mhm.
have evolved from our higher frequency or a higher level and evolved to the state that we're in now, which is why we were even able to be enslaved in the first place.
A Neanderthal or something like that. That's what you're saying, or
Yes. Therefore, for all the nations, regardless of Eurasia, Euro-Arab, even the so-called Native America, Indians of America, they all origin from Europe. Their forefathers are the Neanderthal, and we are not from the same lineage of them. They're a separate lineage that has mutated and created subgroups. And of course, in time, they did interbreed with us. And then you'll have like interracial children and so forth. But we as a whole, as a community in our original state, would have been the purebred original beings on Earth, and they would have been some form of hybrid that evolved from the apes and whatever else. Not only apes, wolf, the wild boar, all of those stuff. Which is why you'll find in history and even today they're comfortable with their animals. There's a blood relation there.
Wow. Because I thought, and like I said, guys, this is not being racist or anything.
Not
We
at
just
all.
trying to find, who we are. And we already know that when it came to the Europeans, how pretty much they colonized the entire planet. And they did it with this superior complex where they thought that they was more superior than we were. And especially with the Vaticans and the Pope, how they went to Africa and they took everything pretty much that was not nailed down, and all the other countries, Portugal and Italy, Spain, France. Look, France cannot even come out of Africa right now. Africa is telling France to leave, and they still think that they still a part of this colonized where they could just stay into these people country. In their mind, they feel that that's their territory in
Right,
somebody else's house. That's just like you coming into my
right,
house and I'm telling you to leave and you don't want to
mhm,
leave.
right,
But
correct,
when it came to all this stuff right here with the Vaticans and the Pope, they took everything, including us.
right. That is correct. It was
Yes,
just a home invasion.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
That
so
is
all I'm just here, my sister and I, we just here trying to figure out, this mess, because like I said, the word is not hidden, and it's up to us, how far we are willing to go ahead and research. Now, I truly could tell you that I really don't know, but I am open. I am open to learn, and that's
right. And I also stay open, regardless of what I've acquired, what I've learned, what I've researched, what I've been taught to me. I remain open because that's the key. If you close yourself, if you come upon truth and you build on that truth, but you close yourself, then you grow no further. You're only stuck with that bit of truth. And that's a challenge for a lot of our awoken brothers and sisters, is that they're awoken. They come across, whether it's the Black Hebrew Israelite, they come across this, that, or the other, and now they're closed minded. They don't want to grow any further. They don't want any more truth because it's going to upset some of what they've accepted as true. And we can't be afraid of that if we're really going to get to an enlightened stage or return to our previous knowledge that has laid dormant within our DNA.
absolutely, because as you can see right there, a lot of us right now, we are traditional and we are stuck in that mindset. If this is what it is, then that's exactly what I'm going to believe. But do you think that these people gonna actually tell us the truth? No, they're not gonna tell us the truth. Now it's up to us, where all the information is out there. We are now in the age of information where we can search for ourselves, because if we expect the same people that enslave us to teach us, then that would never happen, right, Abiyadi? They look at us as 1/5 of the human beings. So now it's time for us to start searching and teaching ourselves, because
Correct.
they want to hold on to something that pretty much got us in the predicament that we are in today. Now, I'm not saying to go ahead and get rid of your Bibles. I'm not saying, but what I'm telling you guys is to learn how to rightfully divide the word of truth. And you have to know what to chew and what to go ahead and spit out.
That is correct, and that is the issue that we are having as a people. We're so used to taking in everything that is fed to us that now when we have to put in the work to actually be able to differentiate between what is good food to consume and what is false food, then we struggle and we cling to what is not of our history, along with what we found to be true.
Absolutely. And also, you talked about the Europeans, Neanderthals. Didn't you say something like that, or it's not your words verbatim? Could you talk a little bit about that again?
The Neanderthal. Okay, so the Neanderthal would have been the first ancestors of the other races. So you will have that is known to us. There may have been a prior state of the Neanderthal before what we know as the Neanderthals, and their parents, their forefathers, that's the Neanderthals' forefather, would have been a beast with what we would call a fallen angel
Wow.
or an alien, as some persons would put it. Basically, a being that doesn't belong here on Earth. And they
Wow.
would have interbred with beast of the field. They would have interbred with what we call a wild boar, the ancient wolf that now becomes what we call dog today. And you have the apes, the monkeys, the orangutan, all of these animals, the gorillas, all of these um, animals that is the root of where bestiality come from.
Wow.
So it's not something that people just randomly start doing. There's a history behind it. And
Mhm.
because the being that came to earth, the fallen angel, um we wouldn't have interbred with them initially. So they would have
Wow.
interbred with something else that was here.
Wow.
And then they would have bore children. And that is why, if you do research, you'll come across that 80% of these nations' DNA would be equal to these animals.
Wow. Have you ever read the book called Book of
Oh,
Enoch?
yes, yes. The book is
Yes.
not a very powerful book. And that book is far more important than all the other books in the Bible.
And most likely that's why they went ahead and omitted it, right?
Yeah, and there's so many others that they take out, and there's so many other versions of the books that are in the Bible that shows that the version that we have in the Bible is actually an edited version. They edit it down. There's so much out there, and you have to search far and wide on the internet to find these books in the first place, or if you find somewhere to purchase them, they're for like hundreds of dollars. So it's going
Wow.
to be costly. So that prevents the flow of information from flowing back into us, because if it does, then it's going to activate what has been dormant in our DNA, because the information is with us always. It's been passed down from our forefathers all the way down to us.
We need to know this information. Like I said, the information is not hidden, is only hidden to those that are lost. And
Right.
it's up to you, if you want to go ahead and start peeling the layers, because they pretty much tried to erase our history, but the truth is slowly but surely coming back home. And as you can see with this generation right here, this younger generation, they not going to sit there and just take anything, let these people feed them whatever. They going to stand up and they going to start researching. And as you can see, this younger generation right here, they are full, where now they saying enough is enough. And that's why when I heard Abiati, and I be pronouncing the name wrong, and it's close
You
to my
did, right?
name. Okay, thank you. When I first heard her speak, I had to bring her on, because the young generation, like I say, they are the ones that's going to sit there and push this forward. And I just thank you for coming on. But also, I want to talk a little bit more about the Book of Enoch, because if you really get into all that, which me and you, I hope we could come back and we can start breaking that apart. What I thought is that when the Meech has, saw the sun, Noah, he don't look like the other children. It came because of Noah. He was a albino. So I thought it was because of a mutation, some kind of genetic defect. And that's how the white race had came through
Yeah.
mutation through
Yeah, there's
albino.
a lot of theories. So they use that to say that that's how they came in. They and there's some other stories as well that they write on to explain their existence here, or to explain their birthrights here. But the way an albino is still a black person. They just don't
Yes.
have the appearance of melanin in their skin. They have all the black features.
Hmm.
These races don't have black features. Their
Okay.
phenotype is not black. So even when you see an albino, they still have melanin. It's just not visible in the skin.
Hmm.
But their hair will still be nappy, their nose will be broad, lips thick. They still have the facial phenotype of what we call African. So that doesn't mean that they derive from us, or that Noah was their ancestors. And we have to remember, when we read the Bible or we read these scrolls, it's both literal and it's also spiritual, symbolic. How he appeared also is that he had this light about him. So it wasn't
Yeah.
that he was physically looking what we would call probably an albino, but there was still a difference in him, which showed a sign of something great to come.
Hmm.
Right. So, but they use all these things that, because they didn't understand our language, they didn't understand what we were preserving through retelling of the stories to the next generation, and then documenting them on stones, on different type of materials. They didn't understand the language. They didn't have a language, right? We taught
Hmm.
them everything they know. We're the inventors, we're the innovators, we're the artists, we're the scientists, we're the creator, because we are the creator manifested physically.
Wow. Girl,
Right.
this a lot. Africa was one big landmass, and all human existence started in Africa. So, what, it was another planet somewhere else, or because if Africa was all one, so how did they just popped out of the sky?
Okay, so okay. So first of all, we view this. Oh, they teach us in school is that you have planets, you have Pluto, you have Mars, all of these stuff. They're really just referencing other landmass that they have hidden from
Oh,
us.
okay.
First of all, man has never left the Earth. We have taken planes, we have taken rockets, but they have never broken the fabric of our atmosphere and go beyond that. If they do that, there is no coming back. There is no reporting back. There is no knowledge of it. We are covered by a tent, what we call an invisible tent, which is the chemicals, our atmosphere that is above us. So all those cameras and satellites that they have in so-called outer space, it's still within our atmosphere. It's still below where we cannot break free from. So we have never
Nice.
left. So they don't know of no planets outside of us. The sun, the moon, it's still in our atmosphere. It's local. It's not in outer deep space. And the planets are circling it around. Water always finds its level. If the earth was a globe, we would have a problem. The fact that water is always level, it means it's on a flat, leveled area.
Wow. So you look at the Earth as flat, not round, right?
It would appear to us as flat, but the earth is also endless. It's limitless. We will
Wow.
never discover the ends of the earth. Only the creator knows that, if there is such a thing. So when they show us a map of the earth, of the world, they're just showing their conquered land, which is why we cannot go behind that ice wall that we call Antarctica. There's land beyond that, and there may be some of us beyond that they haven't dominated. Right? We are
Wow.
just in a caged area,
Wow.
and that's what we see on the map. We're not seeing everything,
My God.
so we can't
Wow.
trust what they show. We cannot trust what they show us, because they will never give us the full truth on anything.
They know
No,
what's going on.
they know what's going on, right?
Hmm.
But they're whatever is beyond that ice wall, they're terrified of it. They haven't conquered it yet. or they themselves can't get too far beyond that, and they're
Mhm.
trying.
Wow. And that's why they keep our people, which I call silly sheeps, they keep us asleep with all this
Yes.
distraction out there with the
Yeah.
entertainment and all the stuff
Sports,
that, yes,
music, the education system,
all messed up.
news, yeah, wars, crimes, drugs, all these things is just to keep us occupied. Because the moment we have time to think is the moment our connection, our spiritual connection becomes stronger, and and that's the moment that we reclaim what is ours, which is the earth.
Wow, this deep, girl. This
Right.
is a lot.
I'm all about sparking the mind.
Yes.
I don't aim to feed or force anything on anyone. I'm about sparking the DNA that's within you, activating it, giving you something to think about so you can start to explore, research these things for yourself. Because if I try to force what I know or what I accept on you, then it's just like what the religions do to us. But if I can spark something in you, then you will go on an exploration and you will find truths that the creator allow you to be revealed in you that I did not find. So I need everyone to find a piece of the puzzle that we need to put together. So that's
Mhm.
what I'm about. It's about sparking in each person that I communicate with, that I come in contact with, their bit of the truth that is hidden in them.
Mhm.
So that's the
So all the stuff that's going on with these rappers, Beyonce, and all these entertainers, all that stuff is just a distraction.
just,
So they pour millions of dollars into that industry just to keep us asleep, right?
and that's why they pay them so much. That's why
Wow.
Beyonce makes so much money. That's why these industry, the footballers, all these athletes, that's why they make the money they do. Because what they do is very crucial work in keeping us asleep, keeping us dormant, keeping us hibernated, keeping us in a state of Stockholm syndrome. So we are in love with our oppressor. We see our oppressors as not what they are, but what we wish they are. We see them as human like ourselves. We see them as equal to us, and we're only fighting for equality. We're not trying to reclaim what we had. We're just trying to get by.
Wow. So this is what you call crafty counselors.
Crafty counselors. Exactly.
My
Exactly.
God.
And the root of I initially I've done becoming a Christian and reading the Bible in its entirety was the first spark for me. And from there, I've researched, I've come upon the Black Hebrew Israelite, I've come upon all these are the group that said America is the Holy Land, all of these stuff. I've come across that, I've passed through them, and my where I found the truth that is in me that I wasn't able to verbalize quite yet came from a group. Well, he's an elder. He's on YouTube as well. Black Re-Education TV. He is the true mentor behind how I speak and what I've accepted within me because it coincides with what's in my DNA.
Mhm.
So he's a great source. You can your viewers can look into him, see if what he's feeding is something they like. Maybe you can even get him on your show.
Okay. Oh, what's his name again?
It's Robert Headley.
Okay. And he's from the state, or he's from Jamaica as well?
He's in the UK.
Okay, the UK. Okay.
Yes. And
Yes, I
he
will.
has a Black Re-Education TV show that he does. So and he is the root of my awakeness, really and truly. I have to give thanks to that elder for it. And he's very dedicated to it.
So how long you been knowing, all this? You've been soaking in all this
About
knowledge.
2 years now, about 2 good years now.
Okay,
Um,
well, you
that,
sure
that I
soaked
was
in a
able to,
lot.
yeah, yeah, because I make it like I was just absorbing it so much, day in, day out. I don't skip a beat, and so forth. It's like food to my soul. Just like when you have literal, when you have you're hungry and you have a meal, that
Yes,
is how it
yes.
is for me. And when I take it in, if something's not right, my gift, a lot, you'll have a lot of people say that they have gift of prophecy, gift of this, gift of healing, all of that. My gift is the gift of I perceive truth. Once I hear it, if you're speaking truth, I have the ability to perceive it and know that it's truth, even
Mhm,
without evidence in whether science, whether in the Bible. I can, my spirit already confirm that it's true, and that's the leading, that's a driving force with when I read the Bible or any of these books, for me to able to
mhm.
identify what is true and what is false, what is a maybe, what's questionable.
Yes, and my gift is discernment. I have
That's the word I
discernment.
was actually looking for.
Yes, yes, I have a gift for discernment, and I I'm very cautious who I let in my circle, and if I catch on to something, I'm going after it. And when I
Yes,
because just
yes.
like in the Bible, like I said, I'm not going to do away with my Bible, because even though they may have given it to us, but I truly believe that when it comes to the Bible, I believe that it's not just pre-ancient stories. I believe that it's prophecies, and we are right now story right now. They may have, like I say, they are crafty counselors where they ran ahead of time, but now the truth, we are seeking truth right now, because I am also is a hunger in me, and I have so many questions. And like I said, it goes very, very deep because of these people, these crafty counselors, how they took everything and they erased it. But now they know that their time is coming to an end.
Right. This is how I view the Bible. The Bible have about a quarter of it, about, sorry, one third of it, we can be pretty confident that it's accurate. The other two-third is questionable, meaning you'll have to dig deep in it to know what is true and what is not
Yes.
true. For instance, they will, in the Bible, it will tell you that the creator created Eve from Adam's rib,
Hmm.
this, that, and the other. And if you have the right discerning spirit, you'll know that's not true.
A lot of
Right.
allegories.
They were both created at the same time from the same dust. Right? Hands down. Um, the creator himself embodies what both men and women are. So he's not going to only bring forth just one part of himself. He's going to make sure that all of what he is present here in the physical.
Hmm.
Right.
I'm not gonna keep you long, so we're gonna do an hour. We have about 10 more minutes, and because
Mhm.
I want to make sure I get you back. But let's go ahead and talk about the Holy Land. Because some says the Holy Land is in Israel, which I truly believe all that's still a part of Africa. Is just that during colonization, how they went ahead and they pretty much just took everything. But the heart of the Holy Land, I truly believe that is in Africa, because Africa is the bread basket of everything.
Of
Without
everything.
Africa, nothing will exist. We can't
No
even keep them
civilization.
out. They'll tell you that Africa is a S-hole and don't go to Africa, but yet they cannot stay out of it.
Exactly. And that's why it's always going to have war and problems and corruption and all these things, because they're plundering it. They know the value of it. And if Africa is ever allowed to play on the big stage, then the rest of the world would suffer. Africa is the core of everything. It's like you're talking about the mantle in the center of the earth, as they would say, versus the crust. I mean, the entire earth is holy, the entire earth have its riches and so forth. But the center of the earth will have more, will have more of everything. It will have everything and it will have more of it. So you expand off from the center, you'll see less of the resources. All resources is in Africa, what we call Africa, right? And even though the Middle East, that part that they call Israel and whatever, is also a part of Africa, it is as much a part of Africa as much as South America is a part of Africa, because South America sits firmly into the belly, the underbelly of Africa, right there.
Mhm.
So it's just as much as part, but this where the core of that holy land is actually in sub-Sahara Africa. And the elder that I do tune into on YouTube and all of that, he breaks it down where everything is in the holy land that is in the Bible as well. And people on the ground in Africa has confirmed it without a doubt. So you have these proper, because of the awakening, you have a lot of propaganda that awakes with it, right? And debunking awaken with it. So you have some of us that have awoken because we have this thing where we love America, we love our land of captivity, and we don't want anything to do with Africa because it's going to take a lot of work to build Africa and to make Africa seem appealing to us, right? It's a part of what we went through. We try
Appealing.
to
That's all
prove,
about. That's what it's all about.
right. So
Appealing.
we try to prove that America is the Holy Land. No, it is not. If America was the Holy Land, it will have an abundance of resources and need to rely on no other country but itself,
Mhm.
right? And America is in the north, right? It's not in the south. The south is where you're going to find a balance in the earth. It's not in the north. America goes through extreme weather changes. In
Mhm.
Africa, it experiences all the seasons just as anywhere else, but it doesn't experience it in the extreme where life is difficult to exist there.
Mhm. And I like this part where you said about Africa does not have to rely on no other country.
No other country,
So
no,
why Africa just don't shut their doors?
because of who's in charge. The people in charge of Africa is not of us. Don't make the fact that their skin is darker than mine and yours fool us. They are their spirit is not of us. They are working for the enemy. If there is an African leader that is of us, he will be assassinated real quick.
Mhm.
And in his actions, you'll see the actions in him that will prove that he is of us. And once he starts to act accordingly, they're going to go ahead and assassinate him.
What about the president? Is Burkina Faso? The big old huge guy. What's his name?
I don't remember his name, but a few of them, including Burkina Faso, have been making some move which it appears to be in our favor, and that is yet to be seen. Because while we are telling France and America and all these places to get out of us, remember we are still inviting Russia in, and
Yes.
China and so forth, and it's like we're trading in one oppressor for the next.
Yes.
Right? So,
Absolutely.
so the question is going to ask: are the Russians, the Chinese, and those the children of their father? And if they are, then they're the same fathers as the Europeans and any other nation. We seem to forget. We see these nations as separate races or separate people. They're not. They're all a part of the same body. The goal is still the same for all of them. The
Mhm.
jealousy that they have for us is still in all of them. There's not one of them that is going to give us our freedom. So
Mhm.
no matter what Russia say what they said, Russia wiped the slate clean of all the owings that we had for him. How dare Russia? We didn't owe them anything. What does he mean by they wipe the slate clean of all the debt? We owe them nothing. We never owed them anything. So they weren't doing us any favor. So that is just a sure sign of future oppressions to come by the hands of these other people that we're aligning ourselves with.
Mhm.
It's just their turn. It's just their turn to do to us what the European nations have done to us.
Wow, that's deep.
That is
That's
all.
deep.
So that's why, even though Burkina Faso leader and all these other leaders are making steps to get rid of their current oppressors, I'm observing to see and I'm watching, why are you allowing other oppressors to come in, that you're still gonna have to align yourself with, have a legion to. They're not going to do it for free. They're going to want something out of it. What it is that you're going to give them, you're going to be giving them your resources. That's the same, right? But the difference that they will do, they will give us a new illusion that we are in control of our resources. They're not
Wow.
going to do it as Europe did. They're going to do
That,
it in a way that is going to even be worse than the European.
that's just like the saying, jumping out of one frying pan into the
And into
skillet,
the
right?
fire. That is correct. That is correct. So they're just Russia, China, and those countries, these BRICS nation. I mean, I like the idea of BRIC. I like the conflict that's ongoing between them, right? Because now they're trying to fight whose turn it is to run the world, right? So I like to see that happening. But at the end of the day, they all have one common goal. They know they don't belong here. They know the sun doesn't like them. They know they have no true connection to the higher frequency of the universe, and they are jealous of us for having that power within us. And they will always oppress us. It's like someone see a beautiful bird and they put it in a cage.
Wow. And that's us. That's Africa.
They would say that they're not evil for caging a beautiful bird that they have in their house to look at, but it is evil. If you love the bird, you let it exist in its natural habitat without any interference from you.
Wow. That's going to be my title right there. A beautiful bird in the cage.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Yes. But this is awesome, girl. And I'm searching because I know that is a better way. And like I said, it's different levels to everything. And this may not be for everybody, because
It won't be.
this right here, those nuggets, you are spitting out those jewels, girl, just to say that you came into all this for 2 years. You, girl, you have soaked in a lot.
Yeah, and it's divine. It's not something I did on my own, because
Yes.
everything that I needed for confirmation just came flowing through me. So a lot of the things I speak, the things that I've come to know, um, I know them before I actually find the evidence
Yes.
in it, which is far better than seeing evidence and accepting it, because of the fact that they manipulate so many things out there. So it is far better that I come into the truth spiritually first, and then physical evidence through research, through science, through observation, through our history and all of that confirms what I've come into as truth. There are so many things that we need to touch on, because we have to talk about our black men versus our black women, and this race in who should lead and who should. That's another thing. And then we also have topics that we can discuss about this whole polygamy thing, again, spiritually, that is not aligned to us as well. There is so many things that we can actually discuss, and I'm willing to be back on your show time and time again. Once I'm
Yes.
than you are.
Yes, I'm gonna watch some of the videos because I saw that on TikTok. You guys have a lot of information. If you want to go ahead and give people, where they can reach you at,
Oh
you
yeah.
feel
So
free. Feel free.
we have I monitor the TikTok page for Black Re-Education TV. That is the Elder. He also have a YouTube page as Black Re-Education TV as well. He has a show every day about 4 p.m. EST time, where he's on live on Thursdays. He takes questions. He does questions and answers, so that's also a good place. My YouTube page, this is mine now, not the Elder that I'm affiliated with. My YouTube page goes by the name of Sonini's Bantu Global Network.
Okay, that's the one that I subscribe to, right?
That's the one you subscribe to. That is
Okay,
mine.
I'm gonna post all that. I'm gonna put all that on.
Right. So that is my YouTube page. That's where I do have some videos up on that. And like similar discussion like what we're having now. is what I intend to do on that channel and so forth. But I'm guided by the Spirit. So I don't have like a set schedule that, oh, every Tuesday I'm going to be uploading. It's as the Spirit leads me. So a week or two can be past, or 3 weeks, even a month. And I don't upload anything, but the minute the Spirit hits me, the upload is coming right there.
Okay. So when is the best time for me, to reach you so you could come on, and like I said, this right here, this is information that needs to get out. So when is the best time for me to reach you? Because I don't want to feel like, I'm just, invading, your space.
Oh, once I get like I'm usually going to be available on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
Sometimes things change and I'm not, but those 2 days would be the most likely days. So as
Mhm.
long as I know ahead of time, I will make myself available.
Yes, because we touched a lot of stuff just
So
within
we
this
did.
hour. Yes, and this is some information, and now I see why, when I met you, they was trying to shut you up because they don't want this information to get out,
That's
you
my
know?
issue. So that's my issues, especially with the brothers, with the king.
Yes.
I've awoken. They have they're like an awoken lion, and so when they pounce, they're just tearing everything up, and they won't listen. But they're forgetting that
Yes.
the woman is a spiritual being behind them, within them, around them, that goes through them, and we are more heavily connected spiritually than they are. They're more physically connected, which is why there
Yes.
are leaders. That's why there are leaders in everything physically. But when it comes to spirituality, we are more tapped in with the creator, so we can download
Absolutely.
more stuff, right? We are the ones that have most of that um, power and connection. So they need to listen to us and then turn that into apply that to their leadership role, because I was explaining to him that every word you use is a curse.
Wow.
You're either cursing yourself, or you're giving yourself what we call a blessing. But the word blessing, remember, and it's so plain as day, the word less is in the word bless.
Yes. It's power in the tongue.
Right.
Words
We
are
I
power.
don't think we value the power that is in our tongue.
Yes, life and death. Life and
It's
death.
in
That's why she say is a blessing and is a curse. Life
it is
and
a
death
blessing and a curse.
is in the
Right.
power of the tongue. So
Exactly.
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna lead this part up, but what do you think about this brother? I'm not even gonna mention his name, calling himself the Messiah. Come on.
No, that's not happening. And he's a dime a dozen. There's a million of him running
Yes.
around. So it's redundant now. It's played out. It's unnecessary. It's uncalled for. If there is a Messiah, it would be the elder that I listen to, and he's not a
Hmm.
Messiah as in the Messiah or biblical Messiah. He would
Hmm.
be more like what we call John the Baptist. He's
Hmm.
paving the way for the Messiah.
Hmm.
And I would more brand that person, this elder, Robert Edley, as some form of predecessor to the Messiah because of what
Yes.
he teach, how he teach it, right? He has a direct connection to the creator in a way that I am yet to see another king out there have it. There
Yes.
is another king that is in the background that's not on platform spreading the word like that, but this elder has this unique relationship with the creator and the ability to download things from the creator because he's so
Yes.
open to him. And he's a literal elder. I think he's in his 60s, so he has experience. He has lived a little. He's prepared. The creator has prepared him so much, and he has never once dubbed himself as a Messiah. He has
Yes.
never once dubbed himself as anything other than a vessel that is just spreading the word. And I view him as what probably a John the Baptist would have been back
Mhm.
then when he was preparing
That's
the
it.
heart of men for the Messiah. And that is the most that any one of us should ever claim to be. It's paving the way, because the minute the Messiah come, all hell is gonna break loose. He won't be on no social media saying this, doing that, preaching, and he's not gonna be doing that, or she,
No.
whatever form that this Messiah takes on and present themselves here. It will not be on any social media. When the Messiah present themselves, then it's going to be pretty much like a World War III going on. It's not going
Yes.
to be any of what's
Yeah.
happening now.
That's
So
how I see it. I don't think that it's gonna be a one-man show. I think that the one
everyone
is when we all come together, one
collect.
voice,
Right.
one
That is
accord.
it. That
That's
is
that's
it.
when we're going to see it, because long as we divide it, we going to fall. But when
Yeah.
we come together, we can
Mhm.
be a force to be reckoned with. And that's what I see as the Messiah,
And the
when we come
nations,
together in unity and one love.
right? And the nations learned that from us, by the way. They weren't
Yes.
in unity. They were savages fighting each other, dragging their women by their hair in the cave, eating animals raw, all that stuff. They were doing that type of savage behavior. We weren't doing it. We have established civilization, flourishing civilization, where we live in harmony and all of these stuff. And men
Yeah.
and women rule alongside each other. No one was superior to another, because the creator never puts man over man, woman over woman, woman over man, man over
Yeah.
woman. We were
Yeah.
all a harmonious rhythm that we call Ubuntu in Africa.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
that's why the Europeans are still existing today and
yeah,
powerful, is
because of
because
that.
they come together as one.
Mhm.
They going to stick together. But
Yeah,
soon the minute something happened to us, we want to separate, but
right.
they're not going to separate. Look at all the stuff that's going on in this world. Do you think that these people are going to start fighting with each other? No, they're
No, they're
going to come
not.
together. And that's why
That
they
is
are still powerful today.
and that is why I caution what these African countries are doing with running out these European countries and inviting others in. They still have they're still all a part of the same goal. And it's the same reason why I say that we have devolved, they have evolved.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right?
Yes. So my sister Abby Addy, yes, thank you for coming on, because this is awesome. And like I said, sometimes the young ones is going to be the ones that teaching the old ones. And
Oh
I
yeah,
thank
they're
you.
coming. They're
Yes,
coming because the awakening that you, yourself, myself, and others like us have is basically we're just laying the breadcrumbs in order for them to come and pick it up. They're gonna be the force to be reckoned with. It's not us, right?
yes,
Some of us will be.
yes,
Some of us will have the joy of seeing the fruits of our labor today in them in the next generation coming up. But you see these young ones that we're giving birth to, that are going to be learning the things that we are discovering, and they're going
yes,
to be building on it, and they're going to be even more connected to the creator and open up doors and have downloads from the universe that we weren't privy to. That is going to be the game changer for us and
yes.
people.
Yes, yes. Well, I thank you, my sister. Thank you for coming on. And
If
I
I
mean,
have
this was beautiful. This was awesome, and I don't want to, try to, wear it out, because, I need you back. I definitely need you back, because you
I'm
even
available anytime.
yes, 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 yes. And I'm going to make sure that, I get this information out, and, make sure you go ahead and check her channel out, her platform, and I'm going to post the links where you guys can go ahead and find Abby. I'm going to get that name. Trust me. This is not the first week. I'm pretty sure it's going to be many more, and we're going to make sure that we break it down. And like I said, the word is not hitting, it's only hitting to those that are lost. So my sister, thank you for coming on, and thank you for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, and pouring into me and the ones that's going to listen. And I pray, guys, that you guys soak it in just like I am as well. So my sister, thank you, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to meet again.
Yes, we will. Have a great day.
And you too. All righty. Go ahead and close it down. Okay, guys. And make sure y'all hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content.